Hiya, I'm David Frankal. You might know me as the knockoff Jeff Marshall who did Secrets of the Metrolink, or from the various other YouTube videos I've made about all things rail over the years. I visited every stop on the Metrolink network back in 2014 for a charity event. The network has grown somewhat since then. I've watched it keenly as it has, reaching such far-flung and exciting places as Manchester Airport, the Trafford Centre and Exchange Square. The network today has 99 stops. It first opened, the first bit of the Metrolink that opened in 1992 were the Bury and Altrincham lines, which were converted railway lines. The Oldham line, which has been added since, is also a converted railway line. And then there are bits that are street running sections, as well as bits that are formerly disused railway lines, like the East Didsbury line. So the whole network is a bit of a mishmash of sort of segregated, almost metro-like suburban railways and then street running trams around the city centre, Salford Quays and down towards Manchester Airport. You'll find that sometimes you are crawling along with traffic and sometimes you are cutting past people's back gardens. It's also quite unusual for a tram because everything is high floor. That's also an artefact of most of the network when it first opened being converted directly from heavy rail. So you're doing the race. You're on one.
So James is doing the race too, but him and Adam are from Manchester, and then me and Ben are not. So I feel like we're at a bit of a disadvantage already.
Are you from London or are you from anywhere else? Because that will heavily affect how you perceive the Manchester Metrolink as, wow, this is amazing, or what is this? This is rubbish.
Well, I'm from North Wales, so there's not that much transport. Like the bus to my house comes every 2 hours, so.
Right.
I think the trams are pretty good.
I think they're pretty good. But I'm from Manchester, so I'm biased, obviously biased.
Yeah.
So a somewhat unsophisticated way to go about this would be to get yourself to the centre and then go out and back to each one of the ends of the lines in a star-like pattern. You can do better than that by making use of some of the other transport modes that are available, like trains and buses, to provide shortcuts or fill in some of those orbital gaps in the network. You'll find there are some lines in particular, like the airport and Rochdale lines, that are quite slow. So you only really want to do them from one end to the other once. You can take a train, for example, from Manchester Victoria to Rochdale in as little as 12 minutes, or from Manchester Piccadilly to Manchester Airport in as little as 13. If you're changing at Manchester Piccadilly between the train and the tram in either direction, if your train uses platforms 13 or 14 at Manchester Piccadilly, then don't follow the signs. They will take you on a very lengthy route down a long travelator through the main station concourse. There is a lift that connects Fairfield Street to the Link Bridge Lounge. If you can find that lift, it might save you a few minutes, which might just make the difference between catching that crucial train or tram. So you can thank me for that one later. Remember that trams run on average frequencies, so if you are changing onto a tram, you're changing lines, you do run the risk of potentially having to wait up to 12 minutes to catch a tram on certain lines. There are also buses, as I said, that can fill in some of those orbital gaps. For example, the 409 from Ashton to Oldham, although that one has let me down in the past, running a race not too dissimilar to yours, so do beware of that. Most importantly, be prepared to be flexible and change your plans. Avoid at all costs waiting anywhere for more than 10 minutes if you can help it, if there's another line that you can go on tick off sooner.
Do you think there's any lines that we should avoid at certain times? Like, are there certain lines that are super busy at times, do you get what I mean, that we might not manage to get on the tram?
To be honest, all the lines get very busy at peak times. So if you can avoid travelling, I'm guessing you're not going to be doing this at 7 in the morning, so it's the evening peak you're going to be watching out for. If you can avoid travelling out of town in the evening peak, then that will help you avoid some of those crowds. But to be honest, every line does get crowded because it's a very successful system.
Yeah, that makes sense. So aim to stay more in city centre ones or like around, because obviously we're starting at 1, so we'll probably be doing it till 7, 8. How long do you think it will take? What do you think the quickest time would be that we could do it in?
About 9 or 10 hours.
Okay.